All right, so welcome to this presentation. I know a few students here, and I'm excited to be here. I love working with the College of Science, especially the students in the College of Science. You guys have the most interesting career fields, I think, in the whole university. I mean, really, engineering is just engineering, right? But you guys have everything. I think a close second would be agriculture, but I know some students will take some of your courses here. So anyhow, um, so these are just in case you don't know, I'm sure you guys all know the majors within your college. And we do have a variety of them. And are they the same? To a point, but there are some that are quite different. And we'll have different skill sets and different things to look at. So like for instance, one thing I like to name is like, for instance, mathematics. I know I have some mathematics students here. I always ask my students, what skills have you learned in mathematics? And a lot of times they'll give me a blank stare. They'll be like, I don't know, doing word problems, doing equations. I said, sure, but what do you think it's taught you so far that you can take into a career field? And they'll think about it, and we're wondering. And the one thing that you got to remember is in mathematics, you learn perseverance, you learn to think rationally, and you learn how to problem solve, right? And I think perseverance is likely one of the most important things because every student that I've talked to, I said, when you're doing an equation, do you always get it right the first time? They're like, no, sometimes it takes quite a few tries. One student said it took a week, but that's what math teaches. It teaches you perseverance because when you go into the world of work, especially like in research or maybe an organization that's trying to design something, so like SpaceX, JPL, things like that, you're going to be testing equations against different types of models, right? And so it's not always going to work out. And you have to figure out, okay, how come it didn't work? And then go back and figure it out. So that's just one example to look at. So as you're looking at the different majors here, like biology, biotechnology, chemistry, computer science, and so on, think about, and you can write this on a paper, just think about some of the skills you're going to learn, not just a discipline, but just what are the skills that you're learning beyond whatever it is that you're learning in the classroom, okay? And keep that in mind. All right, so now for some of us, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Career Exploration webpage for the Career Center, but these are links that I use all the time with students, okay? All the time. And so to name a few that I think are most useful is if you look at the first set of 3, you got the Occupational Outlook Handbook, right? The one with the OOH, right there, the last one on the first set. That one is a very good one to look at, and we'll look at that today, okay? And then there's also choosing a major, right? So there's that section, and there's that little website that's called What Can I Do with This Major? It's so useful. And I think there has been a few students who said they've used it before, but I think it's very useful. I tend to refer to it when I'm working with students who are asking me, what can I do with my major? And it's like, well, let's look, because it's not just going to be one thing, okay? And then I'll talk about the additional resources. So I'm going to go ahead and stop, and then I'm going to reshare because I'm going to switch screens. All right, so this is the Career Center's website, okay? And we have lots of stuff. And this is going to change, by the way. We were taking student feedback. Our website is going to be a lot cleaner because it's one of the, I want to say complaints, but it was one of the things the Career Center staff, we said there's too much on our page. We needed to be more inviting for students to want to go on. So it's going to be a lot better. So anyhow, but right now, if you click on Student Alumni Resources, you'll get this drop-down menu. There's all these different things that we offer here. But if you go to Career Exploration, it'll open up the link to those websites here. And so you can click on any of those. So first, I'm going to go with what can I do with this major, because this one will open up to other options. So if we click there, and then let me know, can you see the new screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, so here's the new screen. What can I do with this major? Now, it's free for you to use, but you have to go through the Career Center's website. So if you try to search this on your own search engine, you'll get a message that'll say that you need to call them because we do pay for this website. So it can be accessed by anyone, but it has to be through our link on our website. So just so you know, okay? So you go in here, there's the different areas. So view all majors, there's different areas to look at. So let's go with just engineering, math, and computers right now. Okay, so it'll list all the different majors within those areas, right? So computer science is right there. You got your mathematics, your physics, your statistics. Am I missing any others? No, so they're all there. So they're all there. So I'm going to go with, let's go with mathematics for now. Okay, so you click on that button, and then it's going to open up to this page. So here, what's going to happen is it'll give you the area, and then this is the area of it. So mathematics, computational science, and then these are the different types of positions within that area. And so if you're a student who's doing a job search right now, this is something that you'll want to use. You can actually copy and paste that into a search engine, whether it's Handshake or Indeed. You can search jobs that way, okay? So you can use this to do your job search. And the reason I tell students that is because if you just put in mathematics, it's gonna throw out a bunch of different jobs and it might miss some things that you are likely interested in. So I use this, right? So it has the area and then it has the employer. So the type of areas that, or organizations that hire these folks. So you got state government, federal government, airlines, airports, a lot of different things. So I think it's really important as you're picking your careers to work in places where you're really interested in working at. You can work for a company if they're offering you a job, but I always tell students, think about places you want to work at. Like for me, I love working in college settings. And so that's when I got my counseling degree, I focused on college, okay? Then it has some strategies, read through those. Some things you've probably done if you've gone through school already, you're maybe a senior, a junior, okay? And if you're a first year or a second year, these are probably some things you want to start looking at, okay? Then you have education, you have computers again, you'll have insurance, right? So it just keeps going and going. At the bottom of every page, you're going to have these 4 different sections. Here's professional associations, okay? And this is important if you're a junior or a senior. I would say, click on these links, read these. You want to join a professional association. It's a really good way to network and to stay up to date on your industry that you're pursuing. I remember when I was in graduate school, I was told to join the American Psychological Association, as well as the Career Counseling Association at the time they had. Anyhow, I really didn't understand why. I was like, why do I need to do that? But I went to the annual conferences and I got to meet different folks in the industry, professionals, and my networking, really worked out. I networked and got to meet people. And so there were times where I had to create programming and I was like, oh, I remember a colleague who shared this type of program. So I sent an email and they're like, yeah, you can have this packet. And so it's really cool to help with that kind of stuff. And also sometimes at the conferences, they have like, hey, we have job openings if you guys know anybody. And so that kind of stuff happens too. Okay, so I'll be looking at professional associations. Then you got the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So here it has different types of careers. So for instance, we'll go with, let's go with mathematician. And this is what it looks like, right? So it gives a breakdown, how much they make per year, the degree you need, and if it's growing, right? So a good breakdown to know how much they're making. And then up top, there's these tabs, okay? And so like it tells you what they do, the work environment, how to become one. So for instance, maybe you're not sure what a mathematician does. It'll tell you what they do, right? A lot of stuff they do there. Wow. Okay. And then there's work environments, so when they work at, and then how to become one. So this is important for students who are, maybe you're barely starting out, first year, second year, and maybe you're thinking like, yeah, I think I want to do a mathematician, statistician. What can I do, or what major do I need to pick? And so here it'll tell you what degrees or majors you'll need. Sometimes they'll list a few majors. So this one is pretty much math and statistics. Like you'll have to do that. So, but there'll be some other careers where they might say business and engineering or something like that. So there's going to be some overlap between different majors. But anyways, this tells you that. Pay and Outlook, you can look at those. But I like this similar occupations part. So here I'll give you more occupations related to the one you have. And then it'll tell you the degree and how much it makes, right? So actuaries are really good fields to get into for mathematics majors. And then what you do is if you click on it, it'll take you to a whole screen again. That'll show you again the pay rate and all that good stuff. And then the last one is the more info section. So here, you click on that, there's just different types of links and more information that you can learn more about these career fields. And remember the ONET I was telling you about? So there's the links to that too, so you can click on there. So let's go to statistician for now. Let's see, yep. So exit. And then can you guys see the ONET online?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So here, this one is a little more. I mean, I like the other one better, the way it's set up, but this is fine too. Some students like this one. So here it gives you specific things like the tasks they do, technology skills, knowledge, right? All these good things. You can read those. So here it tells you education, things you'll need. And then what I like is down toward the bottom. Here it is. Find jobs. You can actually go on there and find jobs through here. This website is pretty cool. So this is what I like this website for. So if you're thinking about going into becoming a statistician, you can definitely click on that and it'll open up another screen where you can find jobs, and it goes by state and or zip code. So you can search through that, okay? And then it has sources of additional information. So pretty simple stuff. So any questions about that? I'm just flying through this because I want to make sure we cover a few other things. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So there's that link, and then are the Christy?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and then the additional resources, we do have MBTI Careers, which is a website where you can, if you've taken the Myers-Briggs type indicator, you can go and look at the different types of careers that are related to your MBTI type, which is pretty cool. It's okay. You got the Myers-Briggs Foundation. You can learn more about it. And then we got the Strengths Quest theme quick reference card. If you have not taken the assessment, the Strengths Quest, you can take it at the Career Center for no cost. So right now, during the pandemic, we are offering assessments at no cost to students. So if you're a junior and a senior, I highly recommend that you take this assessment because it's going to be really helpful when you're interviewing for internships and jobs, okay? So the Strengths Quest will be really helpful when you're interviewing for internships and jobs, okay? So those links will be there. And all you need to do is you send an email to career@cpp.edu, and then you'll be able to, so you send an email to career@cpp.edu, and then you'll be able to just say you want to take the Strengths Quest assessment, and you can let them know that you were at a presentation with Ed, and they'll know what to do, and then you'll get an access code for that. Okay, so it's free. You know, not everything in life is free, but this actually is free. So I would take that. All right. Now, so here is our services. So we do career counseling sessions at the Career Center. You can meet with a career specialist. We just had our title change from counselor to specialist. So we're career specialists to explore major and career options and to interpret your assessment results. A lot of times students will meet with us, and I'll speak for myself because I cannot speak for every single counselor, but I would say that every time I meet with a student, they mention how surprised they were, pleasantly surprised that the career counseling session was very helpful for them. So they were like, I did not expect this. I was expecting more of tell me what job to get, where students will walk away feeling empowered, like they actually, were able to have a part in this session. And typically that's how it works out. A lot of times students who work with us, I was telling Christy yesterday that, not only is it a goal that students get jobs when they graduate, but I have several students that have worked with me over the years. So since they were like sophomores and juniors, where they have job offers already. So they're still in school, but they already got a job offer. And so that's the goal. So I think it just takes a lot of pressure off when you have a job and you're going to start in July and you're going to make, $60,000 a year, and all you got to do is finish your last semester, and you don't have to worry about job searching. So that's one of the goals. And so make sure you meet with us, often if you can. And we do have drop-in sessions. So Monday through Friday, 11 to 3. You send an email to careercounseling@cpp.edu and just say you would like to meet with somebody for drop-in advising. If it's a resume or cover letter review, just attach your resume to that, and somebody will get back to you to let you know, like, hey, can you meet right now? And they'll send you a Zoom link. Or sometimes they can just go an email back and forth, but the way it works. But just contact somebody there. And then our assessments. So I just went through that right now. We do have other ones like Myers-Briggs, Strong Interest Inventory, and Strengths Quest. If you're a first-year student and a second year, I would say even my juniors, if you're just not sure, how about that? If you're not sure about your major and you want to know what other careers are out there that relate to your interest, I would take the Strong Interest Inventory. That's another great assessment to have, okay? Now, let's see here. Any questions?
For the Myers-Briggs, I think I'm pronouncing it right, quiz, do we have to pay for that, or is that on the website for free and we just go on the website and we can find the quiz there and take it?
Yeah, so what you'll do is, again, for the the Career Center offers the Myers-Briggs, Strong Interest Inventory, and the Strengths Quest to students. So all you need to do is send an email to the Career Center, so career@cpp.edu, and then just let them know you want to take whatever assessment. You can take 2 if you want. You could take all 3 for all I care, but you can take them and there's no cost. Yeah. So before I think it was like $5 for Myers-Briggs and Strong Interest Inventory, and then it was like $7 for the Strengths Quest. But right now it's free. So yeah.
And there
Yeah,
was another
Phil.
question.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So I took the Myers-Briggs exam, I believe, test when I was a freshman, and now I'm a senior. I don't know if you would recommend us to take it again as seniors, or do you just go with the results we got our freshman year?
Yeah, I would say take the Strengths Quest now. Yeah, I think you're ready for the Strengths Quest. I think that one will be a lot more meaningful, and especially for you, Evelyn, because you're going to be doing your job search now, and it'll be really helpful when, like, an interview question might be like, what is your greatest strength? And you can say something like, well, my top strength is I'm a learner. I love learning new things, not because I want to be smarter, but just because I love the process of knowing how to do something, whereas before I didn't. And then you could probably tell about a time when you did that. And that'll really make you stand out instead of just saying, my greatest strength is I'm a hard worker, you know, like, okay, great. Like everybody says that. So yeah, I would say take the strengths quest.
Thank you.
Yeah. But, and then for students who might have the same question, I would say the MBTI, there's free versions online that you can take, but if you want to take it again, you can. But I think the strong interest inventory is a good one if you're trying to figure out what do I do with this major, or maybe you're thinking about switching your major. Okay, so you can take the strong. If you're a senior, a junior or a senior, you're trying to get some internships or trying to get a job, I would take the strengths quest. Good questions. Okay. All right. So this is what the Handshake website looks like. Okay. So Handshake, the link is in the PowerPoint. It'll take it to a page where it'll show you how to log in and things like that. But once you log in, if you've never accessed your Handshake account, then you'll have a couple of more steps to do, but you can always exit and just go straight to here, okay? Now, the Career Center does quite a few things on this website. So it's not just looking for jobs and internships. We also do our Career Center where you can connect with a counselor. So you click on Career Center, and this is my mock student website, and I have it set up for computer science. So once it warms up there. Okay, so it'll come up to a page like this. You'll click on appointments and then schedule a new appointment. And it's real easy this way. And then just click on making a career counseling appointment, and then you'll pick whatever it is. So like if you've taken an assessment, you need to meet with a counselor, you'll pick that one. Maybe you're trying to figure out what career to go after, you can pick that one. Evelyn, you would pick job search, right? So you pick it, and don't worry if you don't get the right one, it's not a big deal, right? And then here, you pick the day that you want to come in. So maybe you're like, yeah, this is too soon. How about next week? What do they have for next week? And then it'll show availability for next week. So for instance, it'll show all the counselors that have availability. And then all you need to do is click on it if the time works for you. And then the counselor will get the notification and accept the appointment. That's it. It's real simple. So we serve 28,000 students now. So this is just a lot easier to connect with the career counselor. Okay. All right, and then the other thing is you can search for jobs and internships. So here, so again, mine's set up for computer science. So eventually you guys do want to set up this website because the Handshake will search for jobs for you. So you really don't have to even search, like it'll show things related to your major, but you can always go and put in keywords. And so remember I was telling you guys to copy job positions in the what can I do with this major. So if there's something you're interested in, copy and paste that into here. So like we can put in like statistics. And then everything will come up for statistics. And then you can browse by location, internship or full-time job. So you can do all the different types of browsing to narrow your search down to whatever it is. And the thing I want you guys to keep in mind is as you're reading these job postings. So we're just going to look at this one. So here they got the role, apply now. Let's see here we go, full description. Let's see. So I got reviewers. So this one is, yeah, this one's just a big old paragraph. Let's try another one that has, this one's data analysis and statistics summer. So here, okay, so there's another paragraph. Most of the time they have bullet point statements, which makes it a lot easier for the person who's reading it, but they're gonna tell you what you're gonna be doing. And then what you'll wanna do is go through here and like highlight the key action verbs. Like you gotta explore, gain, let's see. There we go, collaborate, that's a good one. Let's see, there's survey methodology, survey statistics, I would highlight that stuff. Implement is another action verb, conduct, okay? And then what you wanna do is when you're applying for these internships or jobs, you wanna use those words on your bullet point statements for your experiences that you had. And that's called tailoring the resume. And that's a whole resume workshop. I won't get too caught up in that, but that's the whole thing is you guys wanna read that. And then you always want to go down and see if you meet the requirements. Usually I tell students, figure that out right away. Do you meet the requirements? And this one's pretty open. So bachelor's, associates, bachelor's, or doctoral degree from accredited college or university. So pretty much all our science majors can apply to this internship, okay? So they're there. So you can search there. And go back to the main page. Then you'll have employers, so you can search the different employers, you can read about them. Sometimes alumni, students and alumni of Cal Poly, as well as other universities, will post things that what they do about their careers. There's career paths, so if you click on that, you can read about the different career paths. I saw chemistry in there the other week. And so it'll have little things that you can read and learn about there. And then here we have our events section. So we have several information sessions taking place throughout the year. And the thing is, for instance, Coles University, right? I always tell students, don't read the title at face value. What you need to do is click on it, open it up, and see what it's about. Sometimes, not always, they'll want science majors. They'll want computer science, they'll want math, but see, students will read it as face value and go, oh, it's Coles, I don't want to work there. And so this will be, what this is you're going to be able to go to these live information sessions, and like, for instance, Coles, they'll talk about whatever it is they're going to be presenting about. And a lot of times you want to bring a resume with you because sometimes they will take resumes and usually call students back for interviews. Okay, so we have several. So that was just one of them, but there's like a whole bunch in there. Okay, I know like there's, here we go, income investing, there's all kinds of cool stuff. Here's like JPL for business majors, right? But I would still maybe attend that, look at that, and see if that's something you can look at. There might be some for like accounting, like JP Morgan. If you're a math major, maybe that might be something because JP Morgan does do something. It is accounting, but there's a insurance facet to that company as well. So you might want to look at that. Here's ethics and artificial intelligence, senior data scientist. So here's another good one. This is probably more of a networking. So this is going to take place tomorrow. So you guys can go to these different things. So this is a really good way to expand your network and get to know different people in the field, okay? I always like to say that, I was talking to actually my intern this morning, that's funny, yeah. So my intern, we had our little meeting. We have a meeting every week because he co-teaches a class with me. And I was telling him, I said, did you pick your intended career field based on the major you took? And then he was like, no. He goes, I got a job on campus in a writing center. And I realized that I love helping students and creating innovative programs to help people learn. And he goes, that's what I like about it. And so I want to stay in higher ed. And so he figured out what he wanted because he had a job or some type of experience related to that. So a lot of times there's opportunities there. And so you have to take those opportunities. Now, I mean, you pretty much know where you want to go, but I think to really figure out what you're going to do in that career field, you definitely want to start going to information sessions, applying for internships, and or volunteering. Okay, so this is going to help out a lot. Let's see here. So yeah, so there are all those. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Okay. And then the next thing we have is the drop-in advising sessions. Okay, so, oh, we already talked about that. So that's it. And then handshake. So I think we're at the end there. And then we do have our CPU 1100 course. So this is the course that I teach. I teach one section on Wednesdays from 9 to 10:50. Okay. And it's a 2-unit course. And it's my most favorite thing I love doing on this campus. I think it's what gets me up in the morning. It's the thing I think about every day. I work on it really hard every day. I love doing CPU 1100. And so, you know, you get to research academic majors and career paths. You explore skills and interests and values, gain understanding of the career planning process, take interest in personality assessments. So if you take the class, you'll take all 3 assessments. Actually, you're going to take 4. You'll take 4 assessments. And then what we do in the class is we have discussions and activities to put all that together to make I like to call it a global assessment of who you are. So we take, you know, your interest, your preferences, you know, different things like that. And everybody's going to have their own different, you know, what they bring to the table. And so, and from there, you're able to figure out, oh, this is the career I think it's going to fit me. And a lot of times students will, they just love it. I always have seniors who take the class and they wish they would have took it their freshman year. So let's put it that way. So if you're a student who is not sure about your major, or you're a student who's sure about the major, but you're like, what careers can I get into that will fit me, that are within my major? I would definitely take the course, and the link is down there. And then at the end of it all, the second half of the class will create a resume, and then I'll show you guys how to do job searching and everything. So by the end of the class, you will know who you are. You'll be able to understand what you bring to the table and articulate it, but you're also going to have a resume, and you'll be able to apply for jobs and internships and be ready for the next step. That is the whole goal there. And that's career readiness, if you ask me. All right, so I am done there, Christy, if there's any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Ed. That was extremely helpful. I learned a lot. I'm sure we all did. So if you all could just, so do you review resumes?
Yeah, that's definitely something we do. And again, drop-in advising is usually, and drop-in advising, that's where we do most of our resume reviews. If you have a resume, all you got to do is attach it to an email and send it to careercounseling@cpp.edu, and then somebody will get with you. So like you can do it, but right now they're doing it right now. So we have peer advisors, and there's always a counselor on staff who manages that. And so you can definitely get your resume revised. My days are Wednesdays from 1 to 3. So I usually do drop-ins at the Career Center. And then also for science majors, I do have drop-in advising hours from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And so you definitely can use that time, because that's the time I use only for science majors. Nobody else, no other majors, just you guys. So you definitely can bring your resumes there. And
then Ed, we did have another question. So if I'm going to graduate this spring or summer, is it too soon to start applying?
No, you should start applying now. Sometimes the job search process takes months. Sometimes it takes weeks, but you definitely want to start now. And the job search process. So what I tell students, again, here's another workshop that we do, but you definitely want to take assessments to know who you are, right? And then you should have decided what major you wanted, right? That's step 2. And then step 3 is an internship or volunteering to make sure it's like something that you really want. And then you do the job search. Then you're like looking at the different kinds of jobs you can apply to, and fixing your resume and cover letter and practicing interviewing. So that part's the end. So you definitely want to take care of those other 3 if you haven't. And like I said, you guys are welcome to meet with me. We definitely can sit down and get started on the process if you're a little behind, no big deal. Okay. So no, it's not too early, start now. Good.
Well, all right, that's all the questions that we have for now. But Ed, we just want to say thank you so much. That was so helpful. We'll continue to work with you and provide these resources for students.
Yeah. And well, and can we tell the students what we do?
Yeah, definitely. Go for it.
Well, I mean, like as the so just so you all know, all the students here. So the College of Science, I work with the Career Center, but I collaborate a lot with the College of Science Advising Center. So we do a lot of stuff like this, guys. So it goes hand in hand. If you guys aren't sure about something, you can contact, Christy, anybody, Ashley, Diana, Vanessa. You contact them, and they will point you in the direction to find me where you need to find me. We definitely work together all the time. So just know that you guys are going to be well taken care of. And, the goal is that you guys are passing your classes, taking the right classes, but also that you're on your way to preparing for your career. And so that's the hope there. So if you feel like you're not prepared for your career yet, you're not sure, you need to come see me. Okay, so we can get you started on that. So thank you all for having me here. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.